I'm Laura with Hot Fan Media, and today we're going to be working on this faulty sliding door on a 2017 Kia Sedona. Let's get to it. This graphic here showing that the door is open, this sliding door, and then this light comes on, and when you drive it, it just screams at you. This is actually a safety concern. The door is not closed. Actually come back here where this latch is and just press on this and you'll hear a, there it is, there it was, just a click. That's the latch actually latching on. The door isn't actually closed until you do that. Now it's showing that it's closed. The only way to get around the blaring would be to turn the power door off and close the doors manually. It does latch correctly when you close them manually, but most people like their power doors. That's why they're powered. So that's what we will be fixing today. Quick note about this job, I already replaced the motor and rear actuator in this door, and the problem was still actually a little bit intermittent. So I did a little bit more digging. The door doesn't want to seem to close all the way onto the striker pin for the rear door lock actuator. It could be that the bushing around the striker pin has worn out a little bit in specific areas, and so now it's just not quite straight, and maybe a brand new striker pin and a brand new bushing would solve that problem. But what I did here just to test it was I took a washer and just put it in the middle of the striker pin, tightened that striker pin back down, and the door closes like a dream now. So I would definitely try that first before you buy a sliding door motor or a door lock actuator. That may be your problem, and that'll save you a ton of money. So this is the part we're going to be replacing today. It's a genuine Hyundai part. This is the sliding door motor, and these are specific to right and left doors. First thing we gotta do is take this door panel off. There are two Phillips head screwdrivers behind these caps, and then we have this panel here. This panel will come off, and there's another Phillips head screw. We're gonna work on this side first. Now I'm just going to use a pry tool, pop this off. The only thing we're going to be removing here is the screw. Okay, and this is the most difficult part of taking the panel off. Going from the bottom, we're going to pop this out of its little holders, and it can be a little bit difficult to get your tool behind the trim. Okay. Oh, if the door is locked, then that will keep the panel stuck on, so. Okay, so now the only thing that's gonna be holding it on is a connector to the power window button. Okay, this is the connector that you have to remove. These two pieces right here. I'm just gonna depress it on the right side and then just pull it out. Okay, this is the part that we're removing. Before I take it off, I just kind of want to visually compare these. These connectors are the same. This one goes in here. These two go in here. The handle goes right here. Got actuator here. I think this is the motor here. So yeah, these are identical, and it looks like we're just going to be removing these 10mm bolts. We've got a couple of screws and bolts to take off to get this handle off, and then we'll put it on the new one. I'm going to take these Phillips head screws out right now because I have the tool sitting next to me. Okay, so I still got to take that off. Okay, I'm just gonna pull these out. Those are just the retainers. And then I'm going to put this on the new one so that I can remember how it goes. Oh, this way. Okay, so So that's on there. Just gonna set that aside again. Looks like we're gonna take 4 bolts out. It'll be more difficult to take off all the connectors when this is loosened. So we're gonna take all the connectors while it's stuck on. I believe that's the lock actuator, door motor. Ow, that hurt. Nothing's attached anymore, so we're going to start unbolting, and they are tight. So we're going to take this one out. Ah, okay. It's in here, and then you gotta bring the wire down and pull it out the side. I'll make sure we get a good, better look when it gets put in. Okay. So we're gonna have to get the exterior handle off to feed this latch back through. I was struggling with this bolt here a bit because you have to hold the door handle open on the outside, kind of try to wiggle this trim back a little bit, and then unscrew it. For some reason, it just won't come loose if it's got that pressure on it. So now I'm assuming we can just slide it. Okay, yeah, slide it. I slid it towards me, forward. Now I can pull that out. Okay, and that just sort of popped out. Okay, and that's why you can't get it off without removing the handle. It's got a holder on it. Okay, I'm just gonna set this right here. This goes around the front of the window guide, and then it's gonna have to be routed exactly the same way for it to work properly. So I'm going to try to put this in as fast as I can while I still remember it. It's gonna go, the window guide it's gonna go between the door panel and the window guide. I'm just gonna slide that through there. And then, yeah, it needs to go on right here. Okay. So the handle is going to come through. You're going to have to shove these two onto this metal here, and then it'll poke through on the other side. So put that in there, and then this snaps in. There we go. The handle goes back on. That's the most complicated part. So now this is going to snap into this right here. There. And then I'm gonna have to do some real finagling to get that back where it's supposed to go. Can you see it? I think so. Okay, yep, that's it. And then it goes back into the holder. That's what it should look like at the end. The ball is in there. So now this gets plugged in. Okay. And that is a guide right there, which is perfect. We're just gonna put these back on pretty loosely. I do not tighten and finish everything up until I've tested the parts. This goes in here. This goes in here. Okay, now we're going to plug these in. And I'm not going to put any of the door panels on. This is fine like it is because that just goes to the window motor. And I'm just going to start running tests on both the manual and the power options of the door, but obviously definitely the power option first since that's why we replaced this part. Just turning it to accessory on. Power doors are on. That's it. That is what we want to hear. No beeping warning lights. Now we're just gonna put it all back together, put the door panel back on, make sure all of our bolts are tightened up, that kind of thing. Okay, I'm just gonna give all these 10mm bolts tighten. I just kind of put them in loosely. This gets snapped in. That. Just do a little extra check on these. I'm gonna do a little check on the door handle one. It's just a dust cap. Oops. Yes, no. Okay. So we have our 3 Phillips head screws that get stuck back in, 2 in the door handle, 1 on that outer edge there. And then this plastic trim is just going to snap back on. Okay. It is totally put back together now, but I always test everything even after everything's put back together. And that's it. We hope you found this video helpful, and as always, I will be happy to answer as many questions as I can in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again in the shop.